is a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
Hi guys, I'm Grabby here, and this is a DC Legends video. This is a top 10 list. We're gonna do top 10 energy tunes in the game, and a little bit something different this time. I have Dr. Zibarro riding with me on this one, so say hi, Doctor.
Hi there.
So what we're going to do is we're going to give our top 10 energy tunes. Now, heads up, I have no idea what Dr. Zibarro has in his top 10. He told me his honorable mentions, but no idea what's in his top 10. So we'll try to kind of debate the virtues of the list as it goes on. Don't know how it's going to go, so we'll just kind of see. And then also have to give this one quick stipulation. Both of us are highly impressed with the Stargirl rework. However, she is not going to be in the top 10 because we have not had her long enough. Her rework just came out last week. So we haven't had her long enough to properly evaluate where she should be on this list. So she's not going to be included in this month's top 10 energies. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead and throw it to Dr. Zibarro to give us his honorable mentions.
All four of them?
All four of them.
All right. For my honorable mentions, I have Impulse, Power Girl, Superboy, and Killer Frost. So I found that there's so many good greens that this honorable mentions could have really inflated more. But those are ones that, my reasoning behind a lot of this has to do with my strategic play. So this may not reflect other players, because I asked myself when I got into trouble, which should go where. Is the question I asked myself is, how often do I use this character? Mm-hmm. And so I use these characters, but a little bit less than the ones that are in my top 10.
Yeah. And all of them are absolutely solid. And you were telling me, like, before we got on, that there was even another honorable mention that you didn't have. Like, to be frank, as I get into my honorable mentions, he had one that he couldn't even put in his honorable mentions. There were two, and now that and when he told me his list of honorable mentions, I was like, okay, there were like three more honorable mentions I could have had. So, like, legitimately, I think that the energy tunes are the deepest in terms of, on average, good. Like, you have some great mystics and some great physicals, but like in terms of just the amount of tunes that you have that are just viable from early to end game, it is energy. It's energy. It's energy. That's the reason. Those are the gears that I'm always trying to spend the most gems on to get the next one up. And in my honorable mentions, it is Wally West, Kilowog, Flash, and Impulse. A whole lot of speedsters. Wally West, it was really, really hard for me to leave him out of my top 10 because I absolutely love him. But yeah, it came down to just what Dr. Zibarro said. Like, these are all tunes that are incredible and have helped me out or have been staples in my roster at some point. Definitely viable, definitely should be invested in, but I just don't use them as much anymore. So that's how that goes. So without further ado, here's what we're going to do. Let me go ahead and move the screen over. And Dr. Zibarro, I want you to give me number 10 in your top 10 energy tunes.
Hawk Girl.
Hawk Girl. Okay. Little low for my taste, but I can't disagree with that at all. And however, here's the, let's tell me why she made it into your top 10. What's the main feature about her that you think makes her top 10 worthy?
She's just good. I don't use her. She's at number 10 because I don't use her as much. I am always finding somebody else to use instead. Mm-hmm, but the way that she just deals out stuns.
Yeah.
And she can use a little bit of time to get going. But other than that, I mean, she's not slow by any means at all. It's just a matter of getting her triggered so that she starts just dishing out all those stuns. But when you get her going, man, look out.
Yeah. and especially like part of stuns, and on top of it, she has 50% turn meter when an enemy is stunned. So she
Yeah.
just rolls. She absolutely
I
rolls.
I would say that she probably excels best if
Hmm.
you can get at least one or two other characters on your team that can stun the opponent.
Yeah.
So like a dark side, Barda, um,
Mhm.
we all know that she pairs very well with Killer Frost.
Yeah, that's my favorite pairing, those two.
And but that's sort of one of her limitations. I think she excels best
Hmm.
if you bring another stunner, but they've been bringing so many new stunners in the game
Hmm.
that it's not as difficult as it used to be.
Yeah. And watch out, the Spectre Hawk Girl Killer Frost composition. That's what I'm
There you go. Yeah.
working on now. And I'll say this for my number 10 now. I'll go ahead and reveal it because it's not that far, so I don't want to get hung up on it. Hawk Girl is actually number 9 on my list. So I don't like same deal with Dr. Zibarro is that she's great. She's absolutely great. I love using her. She's one of my favorites to use. However, I just don't use her as much. Then again, with certain other tunes that have been introduced into the game, thankfully, she might get more shine. My number 10 actually is going to be General Zod. Now, yeah.
That's funny because he's my number 9.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I was really thinking that you were going to have him higher up and it was going to be like, what in the hell are you doing? Um, it's kind of undeniable that he should be number 10 only because if you run into any evasion team, he is the best solution to it. He hits like a truck without much help. His A2 actually is very underrated. Like the fact that he gives himself crit chance up and int ups while on top of giving himself like 95% turn meter or something ridiculous like that. So he basically goes immediately again. He's incredible. He's absolutely incredible. So that's why I have him at number 10. So,
And
uh,
and I want to say that I'm completely amenable to flip-flopping those. I will say
okay.
that my 7 through 10 are the
Hmm.
ones that I question the order the most. But
Hmm.
my 1 through 6, I'm solid. I'm for sure with the order I have from my 1 through 6.
And truth be told, like we have we always have these discussions before we actually start recording. I mean, of course we do, and we don't talk about the actual information so we can kind of have a genuine response. And we said the exact same thing. My 7 through 10, if you want to argue with it, fine. My 1 through 6, I have a feeling there's going to be an argument over the order because I'm not even sure of the order of 1 through 6, but I know they're top six. So. Without further ado, then let's go ahead and go to your number 8.
Clayface. Clayface
uh,
is snuck back in, and I
yeah.
have I have him RB2, by the way.
Okay. Just real quick disclosure. So hopefully this doesn't confuse people too much. Clayface is my number 7. So not far off in terms of how we're thinking here, and I have my Clayface at RB1. So Clayface, why is he back in the top 10 for you?
Because he's back in the top 10 because the way that he is pairing so well with the other characters, especially the retaliation strategy
Hmm.
that has
Hmm.
started to emerge in the last this year. It
Hmm.
started to really emerge. When we did the what was that? The fantasy.
Oh, the fantasy draft. Yeah, the fantasy
Yes.
draft. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when hate mail brought it to our attention, at least, that
Yeah, Wonder Woman, Coda, Clayface. I can't even remember
Green
who else was on that team.
Green
Green
Lantern
Lantern.
at the time was his choice for
Yeah,
lead.
yeah,
But that's evolved with folks putting in Darkseid for lead now.
yeah, yeah,
But
definitely.
Clayface does really well at protecting the team.
Hmm.
The only his and this is the only reason he fell. He used to be an S tier years ago, and the only reason he fell is when Wonder Girl came to the game.
And to
because he
be
gets wrecked
fair,
by Wonder Girl.
he's still, and this is the thing, even though, I mean, he gets wrecked by Wonder Girl, but it was really that she would just wreck the entire team when he was around. Like,
Yeah.
even if he withstood it, like, everyone else was taking a lot of damage. And to be fair, she's still an issue if you don't account for her with him on the team. So, like, it's still kind of a tenuous situation if you plop him in. Or put it this way, if I see Wonder Girl, I'm not putting him in the lineup 9 times out of 10. In most cases, I'm not. But now Wonder Girl just isn't on everybody's team like she used to be. That's Black Flash's job now. But
Yeah.
before, Wonder Girl was all over PvP, so you didn't have a choice but to not use him. Now she's not. She's still a great tuned, but she's definitely not used as much. So he's been able to like kind of resurface.
Okay. Yeah. So the Clayface is my number 8.
All right,
He's your number
now
7.
yeah, he's my number 7, and my number 8 actually is Power Girl. Now, here's the thing. Clayface, I put in at number 7 because I think that as far as energy taunters go, and maybe I'm giving my list away a little bit, he's the best energy taunter. Um, Power Girl, I put her in because I have her RB1. Her kit is still incredible, and she's incredible from early to late game. And you can make her work in all of those situations. And if I want to, I can put her next to Kilowog and get those empowered strength ups. She can go quote unquote beast mode and get death immunity, keep healing herself, keep stacking strength up. She pairs well with a lot of different tunes from a lot of different affinities, from Cheetah to Wonder Girl to um, just name them. I think that she's still a great, great energy tune. And I'm willing to admit, part of this might be sentiment because she was my first legendary, and God help me, she carried me through so much content because of her ability. So part of it is probably sentiment, but I feel like she had to be in my top 10 somewhere.
Yeah, that's
So,
why she's in my honorable mentions, because she's still very good. I just don't use her as much,
yeah.
um,
I,
as
I,
more as I used to.
I found myself using her a little bit more lately. Not for any specific reason, honestly, just because I want to, but I just found myself using her a little bit more lately.
I think I will say this. I think I do use her a little bit in red alerts,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't use her in PvP.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So now we're moving on to your number 7. My number 7 was Clayface. Who is your number 7?
My number 7 is Larfleeze,
Mm-hmm.
because that boy does some damage.
He does. He does. I have to slightly disagree with you on this one. Only because he does do a whole lot of damage. Those permanent int ups that he gains. But to me, I thought about him briefly, but didn't even think about him in my honorable mentions, only because he's only viable for me in one game mode, and that's Nightmare Campaign. I mean, he's a PvE tune to me. Like, I'm not bringing him into PvP battles.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
He doesn't do well on auto. I can tell you that because of his
Yeah.
second
Yeah.
ability.
Yeah.
There are times that you want to use his second ability, but you
Mhm.
have to do it strategically.
Yeah.
And the AI just is dumb in this game. It's just
It really is.
stupid.
And I wish they would let you set the AI for certain things at least, like remove, don't use this move, or use this move first as an opener. Like I
I
wish
would
that was.
absolutely love to be able to, especially for raid, to be able to
Yeah.
say, turn off this ability. You
And
know?
I try not to mention my other games when I'm doing one video, but in my other game, Raid Shadow Legends, they've introduced where you can manipulate the AI itself and decide what goes first, what goes second. If you don't want any move to be used, if you want this move to only be the opener and then not be used, like they've added that, and I wish to God they would do this in DC Legends.
Yeah, they're not going to, but
Oh no, never.
um, but yeah, it's because they don't. There's not a lot of investment. This is just maintenance development.
Yeah,
That's all they're
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
And I was just talking with someone on Discord the other day about this. We were talking about and I don't really play many other games. This is the only RPG game that I play.
Mhm.
The other games that I play are tabletop, or digital versions of tabletop games.
Oh,
But I was talking with him about the fact that, we're not going to really see much new content because it's just maintenance.
mhm.
Um, and the thing is, people stick to this game because of the DC characters, the DC, the
Yeah.
brand of there's that strong identity for a lot of us from
The
probably
universe.
our childhood, that
Yeah.
that we connect to these characters, and that's
Yeah.
what keeps people going.
Why do you think people are like begging for Batman CC to be reworked, or why some people spend thousands to level up and to get frags for Saint Walker? You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
all knocking on the door of nostalgia and being like, I remember when I was 8 years old and Batman the Animated Series came out in 1992. The first episode that came out was him against this woman named, I think her name was Red Cat, and Catwoman was introduced. And I remember sitting in my grandmother's den watching that on Saturday morning cartoons after I spent the night at her house. And my uncle went out somewhere or whatever, and I was just sitting there amazed because it was incredible. Like that they tap into that. That's what they're tapping into.
Yeah.
So, oh, you know what? I'll take it. I love it. So,
So yeah, that's my number 7. What's your number 7?
my
Or
number
that
seven was
Clay-
Clayface. That was number.
Yeah.
So now we're getting into the sticky business here. The ones we're going to be a bit more stubborn on. So, you tell me who your number 6 is. I have a feeling I know, but let's see.
Green Lantern Hal Jordan.
Really, that low? Okay, so Green Lantern Hal Jordan is your number 6.
Yeah. And I also have him RB3.
Okay, I have him RB2.
In fact, everyone on my top 10 list is Rebirth for me, except for Larfleeze in my number 5, which I'm not going to say yet.
Okay, I haven't. Ooh, a lot of them are, but a lot of them aren't. But I think that speaks to their. For me, I mean, I think that speaks
Yeah.
to their viability, though. Like if you can put a tune in this that versus other RB tunes, you're like, yeah, but no, but this one's better. Then I think that speaks. Like for example, Larfleeze. My Larfleeze is L3, but to be fair, when you say damage, and he does hit hard, I mean, I can't really argue too much with him being in the top 10, and that would mean that he would be bumping out other RB tunes that I have, like RB1 tunes that I have. So it just speaks to how good they actually are.
Mm. So yeah, Green Lantern Hal Jordan is still very solid.
Yeah.
He comes in at number 6 for me.
He's Mr. Reliable. If you don't farm him. He's boring and that's because he's so consistent. He's just debuff immunity, can't miss hammer, definite solution to Harley Quinn and Cassandra Cain and a lot of the can't miss and a lot of the debuffs. I mean, he's one of the best leads in the game, and he's gonna be. So for me, my number 6 is Arcus. Um, Now, I put Arcus in kind of begrudgingly because, okay, I have to admit that he's in the upper echelon. I have to admit it because of the amount of damage that he can deal. But I feel like he is a one-trick pony, and that there are other tunes that bring more. Like he hits. But for example, Larfleeze hits and debuffs and steal buffs. But at the same time, the utility that Arcus provides in PvP can't be denied versus someone like a Larfleeze. Like he can ramp himself immediately. He's slow, but he gets one turn, somebody dies. So I had to put him in at number 6.
Okay. All right.
So now on to number 5. Who do you have at number 5?
Number 5, and this is the only other one on my list that's not Rebirth. And I struggled to get his fragments for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they made him a board clear a couple months ago, and that's Brainiac. He is so useful in so many contexts.
Yeah, he is. And the problem is,
And the
go
thing
ahead.
is, with all the retaliation teams coming out, you can use him as lead to protect yourself from Azrael, Wonder Woman Coda, all those, because you're protected from out of turn attacks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Wonder, I mean, I still use him against the pain in the ass that is Wonder Woman.
Yeah, okay, I have a confession to make. I did not put him in my top 10.
Oh,
Uh
boo.
yeah. And now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Boo me because I deserve it. I didn't even put him in my honorable mentions, and this is because one, I think he's incredible. However, I haven't had much of a chance to use him because I've only gotten enough frags to take him RB3 like within the last month. And so I haven't been able to do a
RB3 or
ship.
Legendary 3?
Oh, I'm sorry. L3. So
Okay.
I've only been able to get him L3 within the last month. And though I love him more off lead than I do. I don't think I've even tried him on lead. I like him more off lead, like with some of the other tunes whom I won't mention right now. But
Mhm.
I think he's absolutely incredible. But I just don't. I have more experience with the ones that I named, so I can't really argue you down, and everything you say makes him like a legitimate top 5, and I can see that argument. But for me, given my experience and what level I have him at, I couldn't like justify putting him on there. And you know what, I'll say this same, well, no, you know what, no, I won't say that. I'll leave him off. But yeah, I could definitely see where he's a top 10 tune, but I just did not put him on my list. So
I will also say this about Brainiac.
mm,
I I drug my feet with this character more than any other character that I wanted for the longest time because I only had him L2,
mm,
legendary, for the longest time.
yeah,
And I got fed up and I said, because I have a general rule that I don't, because at my level I got so many frags for so many characters,
mhm,
that I can always level somebody that I have at least legendary 4 or above.
yeah, yeah,
And so I have this general rule where I don't tend to level a character unless they're L4. I
mhm,
can take them L4. And I made an exception with Brainiac, and I absolutely do not regret it. As soon
yeah,
as I got him to L2, his usefulness, I I I I, I was like, I'm so glad. Why did I drag my feet with this
yeah,
character? He's so
yeah,
useful and very he solves problems. That's my point. And
yeah.
that's one of the things that I think about when I think about a character is do they solve a problem, especially a stubborn regular problem that you're encountering
Yeah.
in the environment at the time.
And I really wish, like, I'm begging for more frags of him. Like, I try to use the PvP energy or PvP tokens as much as I can. I think they're tokens, gems, whatever, to try to get the lottery so I could just get as many frags of him as I can. And I would love to have him, hell, RB1, but I just don't have him there yet. I'm trying to fit a way into some of the other teams. However, when it comes down to it, there are so many other tunes that I'm using right now that it's
Yeah.
hard for me to even find a place for them at the moment. So,
Well, I will give a bit of strategic advice with the buying packs from the alliance packs. What
mhm,
I do, and this you don't have to do this, but I think it's very useful,
mhm,
is to save all your energy for those
mhm,
packs
mhm,
until raid is going, especially the last whatever day it is that you hit a raid boss or raid bosses hard.
mhm.
Save your energy and spend it all for
Oh
that
yeah, so
that month
yeah, yeah,
on
yeah,
that day. That's what I tend to do because you can get more energy. You also, and the other exception is if you're really pushing hard in PvP,
yeah,
because I found I get a lot of PvP energy from those
yeah.
packs too.
That's a good tip actually. That's a really really good tip.
And it helps. I don't know that it would necessarily improve. It technically speaking, based on the principles of statistics, it shouldn't improve your chances
I know it
because
wouldn't make a difference one way or the other.
yeah, your
It's all
chances
based
should
probability.
remain the same, which is
Yeah,
fairly low. And
yeah.
I have somewhere what the percentage for getting that character. I think it's 1 in 20
Yeah.
out of so if you pull and this is for the largest pack. If you pull 20 of those packs, you should get one of the rare characters.
Yeah.
You should get Brainiac. One out of 20, I believe, is the number. I'm not 100%. I'd have to check my records on that, but I think that's
Yeah.
what the percent is.
I might do that coming up because I do have a bit of PvP energy, but here's hoping. Here is hoping. So Brainiac was your number 5.
Yep.
So my number 5 is going to be. Can anybody take a guess? It's going to be Starfire. All right, now I don't know why so many people prefer Arcus to Starfire. I mean, I kind of get it, but then I kind of don't, because to me, she hits just as hard, if not harder, while also bringing in other aspects. Like she ramps when teammates are getting hit. She has what the can't miss, or the hit chance downs and on her A3, and the evasion downs on her A3. She has can't miss on her A1. So Arcus can miss Harley Quinn. Arcus can miss Eclipso. Starfire doesn't. So like, to me, I think that she has more utility in her kit, and I feel like she should be in the top 5. And she's that one solution that I've been able to find, or she's been part of the solution that I've been able to find for that whole dark side, Barda, Terra, Azrael thing that was running around for like 2 weeks in PvP.
Mm.
So
I've actually been using Emperor Gang's strategy for that one because it's faster than mine. I have a strategy.
What was his?
His is Lex, Arcus, Wonder Girl, Azrael, and then he uses their second ability on Azrael and Wonder Girl to delay.
Yeah.
And he uses Arcus to take out Barda right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then Azrael starts ramping, but
Yeah.
should be able to survive with Lex at that point because of the 2 buffs
Overkill.
that
Yeah.
So it's been pretty reliable, so I've been using that because it's faster than my Lex Bat World's Greatest Detective Red Robin or Donna Troy team. That's just too damn slow. That team.
What I do is that I basically have Starfires on the team no matter what, but there's 2 comps, and these are from viewers. So sorry if I can't remember which viewers, but thank you, viewers, for this info. So these weren't team comps that I came up with. They came up with them, and if I knew we were going to this topic, I would have written down their names so I'd give them a proper shout out. But one of them is Lex, Hippolyta, even though you hate the way I say her name, Red Robin, Hippolyta, and Starfire. And what happens is that Red Robin then goes to Lex, gives him the true sight, but it's really about the turn meter. He heals. Starfire ramps on allies healing. Then Hippolyta will give intelligence ups, which also causes them to ramp, which also gives intelligence ups to Starfire. Then I use her her A3, and she basically wipes out the entire team, all of them except for Darkseid. And then the other is Saint Walker, Hippolyta, and Black Flash with Starfire, and basically use Black Flash to delay the other team. You use Hippolyta to give int ups, and you use Saint Walker. You use Saint Walker's A2 on Starfire, which then does not proc Azrael. She'll hit with her A1 twice, giving herself int ups. Then Hippolyta will do her int ups on Starfire, and then she nukes them all away again. So those have been and it's all just 4 turns. I just do those 4 moves, and the team is wiped out. So that's my approach to that Darkseid Terra comp.
I have Starfire 7011. I don't have her fully ringed out, but she's just not working for me. I don't know what to say. I've tried, and I just.
And plus, that
like
A3, when there's 5 int ups, it can't miss as well if you have that legendary point. Like she's really boss. She's really boss.
I think Starfire is for you to me, as Larfleeze is to me for you, if that makes sense.
Maybe. However, I will say this though. I mean, she's PvP viable.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't argue that. I definitely wouldn't argue that.
But But yeah, but then I can't even deny Larfleeze though. Like I can't deny how incredible he is, and his eight. He's PvP viable up to mid game because his A3 just removes all buffs and murders if the person's still if the person's still alive, they don't have their buffs. So
I
it's
think
absolutely incredible.
it's probably my way of playing, my play
Yeah.
style that affects
hmm
it, because one of the things I'm often doing is controlling the enemy turn meter through various means.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot. I used to be
And
big into
if
that.
you're doing that, you're not helping Starfire.
True. That is true. So, moving on to your number four. Just so you know, my number four was Green Lantern Hal Jordan, so we won't revisit that. But tell me who your number four is.
Terra.
Uh-huh.
And this is why my Hal was number 6 for me, because I like Terra more than Hal now, because I can use her out of lead and pick another lead.
Yep. And let me go ahead and just say this before you start. Like Terra is my number 3. So like we basically did the same thing where Terra is just one above Green Lantern Hal Jordan, I want to say, or maybe 2. But yeah, Terra is her debuff immunity, the agility ups. That and honestly, the thing that is underrated is her meltdown, and she actually does get buffs on her.
You can't miss. I love my can't miss.
Yeah, like she is a true beast. She is absolutely a beast in this game, and she's also
Heal
she's
immunity, shields,
she
critical
does.
chance up.
And she's one of the keys to a team that I was trying to make where I was trying to do a beefy, tanky taunter team that would just be frustrating. And so far, the one I got, it doesn't have a lead and it's kind of working, kind of not. But right now, what it is Terra with Grundy, Barda, and Spectre. And so basically, you can't do enough damage to us with all the agility ups and stamina ups. You can't do enough damage to Grundy or Barda to make any bit of a difference. And then Spectre can just go ham on everybody around him. So far, that team is kind of working. I'm still working at the kinks, but Terra is truly incredible.
So she is what number for you?
She's number 3 for me. She's number 3 for me.
Okay, so that's my number 4. What's
So
your
then,
number 4 then?
my number 4 was Green Lantern Hal Jordan.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. Like we both have Terra like just above Green Lantern. Like I think you have her 2 slots above, and I just have 1 slot above because she does what Green Lantern does, but better and out of league. So
Yeah.
just incredible. Now you tell me your number 3.
Lex.
All the way down to number 3.
Yes.
I thought I was gonna get some resistance.
I'm going to
from you.
qualify this. I'm going to qualify this.
Okay.
I think he is the best in general green in the game. So if you have him at number 1, I will not argue with that. But you'll say, well, why do you have him at number 3?
Yeah.
Because of my individual play style, I have to that if I were to ask myself this question,
Yeah.
who could you not do without? And so I have 2 above Lex here. For me,
I have
for my individual play.
heads up. We'll go ahead and scratch this now. I have Lex at I have Lex at number 2. Just to let you know. It was a debate between number 2 and number 1, and I'm still debating it in my head right now. But I was convinced you would have him at number 1 just for Nightmare Campaign alone.
I will say, if you are a 60-10 player, he absolutely needs to be your number 1. He should be the absolute number 1 character that you level first.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I have such a deep roster, I'm actually using a number of other leads.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 I use far more than Lex, so that's why he's there.
And now I'm really curious about where your list is gonna go because go ahead and tell me. Okay, forget all. Okay, fine. Everybody knows Lex is awesome. Who's your number 2? I'm already sure who that is.
Martian Manhunter.
Okay, so Martian Manhunter. We'll just go ahead and go to it. Martian Manhunter's my number 1. If you don't know, Martian Manhunter at lead awareness. He gets debuff immunity on his A2. You get 20% turn meter from the start when he's at lead. He's incredible. He's my number one. Who the hell is your number one?
Your one-trick pony. You remember who you said is your one-trick pony?
I do remember that I say that Arcus is a one-trick pony.
Yes, Arcus is my number one.
Arcus is your. Oh my God! Seriously though, Arcus. Okay.
He solves so many problems. As long
He
as
just
you
kid,
put him,
like, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
put him with Red Robin, and I solve problems all day.
Arcus is number one for. I can't even. I did not see that coming, and then I lost track. At a certain point when I was saying Starfire, I was like, okay, well, he's going to argue Arcus over Starfire. I already know that, and then we got caught up in the whole Green Lantern Terra, discussion, and trying to take out that team, and then I forgot, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, number one though, like,
Yeah, for me.
I get it. But for you, I think that's wrong. Like, okay,
He solves problems.
he kills, yes. However,
And
he's
you
a
put
glass
him.
cannon that's easily dispatched.
No, I would disagree with that. He's not easily dispatched.
I don't have. Whenever I see Arcus on my board, I'm not worried. Period. Like I don't have to worry about him at all.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him when I face him too much either because the AI is stupid. But in the hands of a competent player, of someone that can think about the turn order and the moves,
Yeah.
unlike the AI, which follows a very stupid algorithm of 3, 2, 1,
But
then
but I see your point, but here we go real quick. Let's say there was live PvP and you and I could play each other. If you're putting Red Robin and Arcus on a team, I will murder you every time. Seriously, there's no doubt. All I have to do really is put Wally West and I win, or put Impulse and I win, or put
then
Kaga and I
I'll
win.
bring Impulse.
You can bring Impulse. We can both bring Impulse. That's fine. But if I have Grundy, he can't one-shot Grundy even with his A2.
I'm sorry.
If I bring Grundy, then he
That's
can't
why I have
one-shot.
Red Robin. I can
Uh-oh.
bypass that.
So with
I'm
Martian
always
Manhunter and Donna
cracking
Troy.
somebody's skull on the first turn with those
Okay.
two.
Okay. So
And if I put someone like, and I know we're saving this for the riddle me this, but
yeah,
we started to briefly talk about the quote unquote bad things happen to you when your opponent dies.
exactly. If I have Spectre there.
You put Spectre in, you put Red Hood in, you put Lobo in, these people in their team with
Yeah.
those two,
Yeah.
you just take over.
I absolutely cannot with you right now. Like it is too late in the evening. My brain is I got 1 hour of sleep last night because my daughter kept me up, and I'm legitimately frazzled right now by the fact that you have Arcus number one on your list. Like, and the problem is that we can talk this through until the cows come home, but the only way for us to resolve this isn't possible because I just want to play you in a live PvP match and show you you're wrong. Like there's no other way. There's no other way for me to show you you're wrong other than showing you you're wrong. Like
Well, that sounds like a challenge. Set it
yeah,
up.
but here's the thing though, we can't do it. I'll call it WB if y'all are watching this. We don't even need it for the whole game. Can you set up like a PvP live PvP thing that just we can decide this? You guys have to test play this stuff, which means you probably have the environment already set up to where you can have one person manipulating a team on one side and one person manipulating a team on the other. That's how you test play things. So you might have some AI interaction, but you definitely have person versus person. I need this because I will fly to where you are to prove you wrong on this. Like, I will buy the ticket. I'm telling you
Well,
right now.
it sounds
I
like
will take a transatlantic flight that takes 14 hours to get to you to be like, this is why you're wrong. But oh my goodness.
you're
Oh my
committed.
goodness.
You're committed to it.
Yes,
Well,
because I do like Arcus, but number one,
well,
man.
it sounds like maybe we need to do one of those fantasy draft things again, and then leave it up to
You know
your
what?
listeners to
You know
vote
what?
on.
You know what? You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And I'm gonna try to think of the best way to formulate this. But guys, be on the lookout for a poll. I'm going to put a poll probably on Reddit, maybe in the Discord. I already know how. You know what? I'll already put one in the Discord because I already know how to set up a poll for that. So I'm going to set up a poll section, and then I'm gonna put a poll in the Discord probably first thing tomorrow morning. Which for you guys, let's say like in 10 hours. But I'm gonna put up a poll about somehow either who should be number one, who's the best green, Arcus or Martian Manhunter, or is Arcus the best green in the game? Yes or no? Like one of those polls. Because honestly, maybe I should do Martian Manhunter versus Arcus because there might be others who just say, well, no, neither of them, and so then they'll just vote no. And if I say is Arcus number one, so let's put is Arcus versus Martian Manhunter. Who's best? Who's the best green in the game? That's where I'm gonna go. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put that in Discord tomorrow, and then I'll try to find a way. Maybe on Reddit. I don't know. But like, you
Well, hold
got
on
me.
a second.
Damn, you got me.
Hold on.
Go
That's
for it.
somewhat unfair, and
Okay.
here's
All right.
why. Because I don't disagree that Lex is number one. My list is the way that it is with Arcus number one because it reflects my play style.
Okay. That's okay. All right. That's 100% fair. That is 100% fair. So then based on the fact that and my list, oh, well, all these lists are
So
subjective. I mean,
if
there's
you
no real.
wanted me to rework my list into the order in which I think it should be in general for
No, no,
everyone,
no. I don't want you to do that because you put Arcus number one, and I'm arguing that. Like, I'm
okay.
not arguing that he's top 10 because he's definitely top 10. I'm not arguing that. It's that I need you to see the error of your ways. Like, I Arcus, even given your playing style, even saying how much you like to manipulate turn meter, you put the two turn meter manipulators below the high damage dealer, the glass cannon. You said that's how you play. It's turn meter manipulation. Yet you take the two that manipulate turn meter and put them below the DPS.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Because I use other leads
I know. I get what you
like
mean.
Dark
Like
Side, for instance, or
Dark Side, you can run Cheetah if you need to, because that'll give him strength ups already from the start. Like I get it. 100%. But I don't get it.
Mhm.
All right, so I need to wrap this up soon. I actually have to supposed to be out of here pretty soon. So we're gonna touch base on Stargirl. You wanted to, well, we both kind of wanted to give her some shine because she seems like an incredible rework that is going to be completely overshadowed by Spectre. So I'll let you step into the Stargirl bit.
Yeah, I can only comment on Stargirl from facing her. I have her 70-10 right now, and I fast tracked Spectre, but I'm not fast tracking her because I want to finish Spectre first.
Mm-hmm.
But based on facing her, I have been I lost 3 siege matches already because I did not account for Stargirl. And I've never lost that many siege matches, especially on my first board clear.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I've been able to make up for it because I have a lot of the bonus characters. So I've been able to make up for that, especially with the revenge matches. If you can bring 3 or 4 bonus characters to the revenge match, the return on investment is really great.
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is.
But if you don't have those bonus characters, the revenge matches are not worth it.
Yeah.
But so I've been able to compensate those losses because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, when she got going, and she's fairly fast too, and gets turn meter all over
Yeah,
the place.
and she buffs Reed like she ramps not as much, but she ramps pretty quickly too because she's ramping
And
on
she,
your buffs.
and she dishes out shield way more than Hal Jordan does. It's like,
75%.
and more than Tara. I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah,
where's all this
pretty
shield?
incredible.
I'm like, unless you have like Spectre who punches under the shields,
Yeah,
or other characters that punch under the shield, I was like, okay, I got to start all over again.
it's another health bar. Yeah, might as well. And I have her 7011 as I'm showing her right now. And I will say this, you brought up this point because you said that you haven't taken her there yet and you were worried that she might be Harley Quinn-ish, like good on defense and not on offense. I'm here to tell you, like maybe she's better on defense, but she's definitely not Harley Quinn on offense. Like that's what she was before, whereby she would only convert the strength ups like a little bit. It wasn't very reliable, and so when it worked, it was nice, but very often it didn't. And so like the risk didn't really go along with the reward. Meaning like when she doesn't perform, then you're screwed because you're counting on her for something. But when she does perform, it's great. However, she is way more likely that she won't perform than she will. They've resolved that, fixed that, and made her incredible. And she's not a beast, but she's pretty close. Like I think she's really, really good. I can't wait to use her more and more this month, and she might crack the top 10. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but
Yeah.
she's definitely top 10 energy. I don't think she's going to be top 10 tune in the game. I think top 10 energy, but I don't know. I think she's gonna be great. It's just sad that she came out with Spectre.
I mean, she's a contender.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just unclear yet where she's going to fall in the rankings.
Yeah.
I, I definitely think she's fairly solid,
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if anyone wants to invest in her,
I think she's worth investing in. Definitely worth investing in.
she's solid.
But
Yeah.
I might say hold on to that L4 rule that you were saying before. It might be best to wait until she's L3, L4 to invest in her. I'll have a Stargirl video coming out in like 2 weeks, but and I'm gonna try to really go into depth as to like L2, L3, L4 because there are certain legendary points that you need to make her really shine. So
I think you definitely need her third. I don't know what the recommended legendary order is right
neither
now.
do I. Neither do I.
But I do think that her third legendary that increases her damage is pretty necessary because she does deal some substantial damage with that three,
Yeah.
especially of course, if she crits. But
And actually,
I got
looking at it,
that's one of the
L4 I
things
think is
that
optimal.
really that her third AOE really, that's one of the things that took me by surprise in some of
Yeah.
those matches.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what is happening here? What is happening?
She's no slouch when it comes to damage. That is a fact. And I mean, like I said, she ramps up, not like an Arcus ramp up, not like Azrael ramp up, but she's buffing herself, so like she definitely ramps pretty quickly on her own. So we're gonna end the video on that note with Dr. Zibarro literally cracking an egg and dropping it in the pan and frying my mind right now with Arcus being number one. But I'm gonna figure out some way to put that up as a poll and then leave it up to you guys. But I drop DC Legends videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Raid Shadow Legends videos every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Marvel Future Revolution videos intermittently. So please like, please subscribe, and if you don't like, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. Check out the links below for some of the movies that I love, and I would love for you to link on it or click on the link, download, buy, rent, whatever. That'll help support the channel, help support me, help me keep this thing going. Give a special thanks to Dr. Zibarro for joining me today,
Thanks for having me.
and we will see you guys next time.